Steve Shermett, and I want to talk to you today about God's existence. Here are my thoughts. Now, I've had the distinct pleasure of walking throughout Israel and Turkey and visiting countless archaeological sites. The thing about the Bible, as opposed to all the other religions, is it's rooted in verifiable history. All the other religions say, hey man, you have to take what we tell you by faith. Faith is great, but there's got to be something to back it up. See, I don't believe in blind faith. I think faith in God is based on something. It's based on a long history of things that He's already accomplished that we can look back to and say, yes, that happened. And because all those amazing things happened, now we can believe Him for His, not only His existence, but for our future as well. And that's another unique thing about the Bible. The Bible doesn't just talk about the past, it also talks about the future. In another little short, I'll talk to you about Bible prophecy and how that helps prove the Bible. But right now, I want to look at archaeology. Let me give you an example. So it says in the Bible that towards the end of Israel's ancient empire, some invaders came in from Babylon, and they captured the king, put out his eyes, took him to Babylon as a prisoner. And after some time, the Babylonian king took him out of prison, befriended him, and fed him at the table for the rest of his days. That's in the Bible. Now, you go to Babylon, you dig, and you come up with all these records from the Babylonian Empire. And you know what they found amongst those records? They actually found this king's name and the amount of food that the king gave him after he was released from prison. What kind of food he was fed and his household, and how much. The idea is, the Bible says he was made a prisoner and then fed at the king's table. Archaeology actually tells us the kind of food he ate. So when the Bible is backed up by secular history, we know it's true. It stands for something that actually, literally happened. Let me give you another example. The Bible says that the Jewish people were slaves in Egypt for several hundred years. God did a bunch of miracles, and the Jewish people went north to the land of Canaan. To this very day, there are scientists discussing how the biblical plagues might have happened. Of course, they don't want to see them as miracles. They want to see them as natural occurrences. But yet they believe they happened, and so they discuss them. Well, the Bible says they happened. They believe they've happened. Well, here's where archaeology comes in. There's a town in Egypt known as Ramses, or Avaris. It's not a town anymore, it's just an archaeological site. But the archaeologists, when they dug it up, they discovered something very fascinating about Avaris. It was abandoned, with no explanation whatsoever. It's not like it was conquered or destroyed, it was abandoned. They found paintbrushes still sitting in paint buckets. The whole city was just abandoned. No explanation. And then it was repopulated. No explanation. And yet, if you read the Bible, there's a very strong explanation. God told the children of Israel to leave on one night, and one night specifically, the night of Passover. They left, they abandoned their city. Then we learn from archaeology, Egyptians lost all their slaves. So the next pharaoh went on this huge slave-conquering war and brought back thousands of more slaves. Why would he do that? To replace the slaves that were missing. Why were they missing? Because the Bible tells us they fled at God's command and became a free people. This is only a drop in the bucket. There are books and books and books written about these things. The Bible teaches us the truth about God, and archaeology bears it out. Well, those are my thoughts. What are yours?